The battle is taking place in Gaza, but the media war is taking place right here in the United States of America.
Are you listening, media?
It's been described by high-ranking officials in the international community as an all-out massacre, a civilian bloodbath, a Palestinian concentration camp, a war unlike any other ever fought, taking place in a sliver of land no bigger than Washington, D.C. But if the situation is so dire in Gaza, then why don't the American people know much about it?
In the news reporting is attempting to be balanced rather than striving for actual accuracy. So it's somehow equating a handful of tragic Israeli deaths in southern Israel with hundreds upon hundreds of deaths of people in Gaza. So I think that there's this bias of phony fairness.
How do you think our media here in the States is covering the situation over in Gaza?
I think they're doing a good job overall, but I think it's difficult if you don't have any journalists actually in Gaza.
In the age of technology, where 24-hour news cycles dominate the international airwaves, the fight to win hearts and minds transcends far past the mission of military operations. It becomes a media war, where images speak much louder than words. And when it comes to the mainstream media's coverage of Gaza, there are mixed opinions on the streets. How do you think the U.S. media is covering the war right now?
Well, obviously very biased. It's one-sided.
I think the coverage has been very limited.
I think just reporting on how people feel about it was just generally towards Israel, which is unfortunate.
The media, probably as good as they can for any battle.
I don't know much about it, so I guess the media isn't doing that great of a job.
Analysts blame the bias in the mainstream media on the powerful PR campaigns launched and permanently in place by the pro-Israel lobby and organizations around the country.
The lobby is very powerful in the way it pressures. So they are putting out talking points. They're sending out to their lists. They're very much pushing the Israel line of Israel as victim, Hamas as aggressor, even though that's false.
It's nothing more than propaganda, and they try to hide it under the guise of being public relations.
And when the facts don't match up to the talk, the social and alternative media take center stage.
A lot of our people are still in the dark because they don't look at press TV, they don't look at Al Jazeera TV, and so the mass media outside of those two outlets have the people confused.
Americans frustrated with the mainstream media have turned to Press TV, due in most part to Press TV's breaking news coverage and becoming one of the very few international stations to have reporters inside of Gaza. Perhaps that is why Press TV staff in Gaza were recently targeted by Israel's attacks. Staffers at some of the nation's top networks told Press TV, under conditions of anonymity, that what Israel is trying to do is keep the world from knowing what is really happening in Gaza, and the way to do that is to control what is being circulated on the national mainstream media networks. Jahan Hafiz, Press TV,